Hi. You know what changed everything for me financially? No, it wasn't earning more money or a crazy side hustle. It was one simple, very powerful habit tracking every single pound that I spent. And here's the truth, the problem that we are trying to solve here with money is not mathematics, it's behavior. And there's an amazing book which I recently read and I would recommend as well. It's called The Psychology of Money, and it says that doing well with money is very little to do with how smart you are, but a lot to do with how you behave. And we know that the cost of living is only going to go one way, and the only way to win in this game is through discipline.
The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in sports, but in life.
You don't rise to the level of your goal, you fall to the level of your system. And my system was very simple: track every pound. And this little habit turned me from a debt loaded dad to a debt free man with a clear vision for the future. Everyone has a wake up call. Mine came when I was in the UK in the very early days. My salary would come in, and before I know it, it would disappear in the form of bills. And end of each month, I would wonder where did it all go. And I remember there was this one month, just out of curiosity, I pulled my bank account out, looked at the statement, and went through each line, and quickly realized that there was, I think, around about 350 quid spent on coffee, random shopping, takeaways. At that time, takeaway income was 1,600 quid, and I was spending 300 quid, a major portion of that money, on things I didn't have to. And just to put things in perspective, on an average in the UK, anyone who grabs a takeaway coffee 3 times a week and add a little bit of snack into it spends around about 600 quid a year. That may not sound a lot, but a small leak can sink a big ship. And the truth is that in the UK, an average household carries around about £17,000 in debts, excluding the mortgage. About 2600 is linked with credit card debts. So I wasn't wasting money. It was much more serious than that. I was falling into the same trap that millions of people in the UK are in. You have to be extremely careful and beware of all these little expenses. And this is where I want to share 5 powerful lessons with you all that led me to this extremely powerful habit of tracking every pound. The first lesson is awareness is power. So I started with simplest of steps. For the next 30 days, I started tracking each and every pound on a spreadsheet. Not as complicated as that, a lot simpler. I learned this technique from my mother. She tracked every expense every day without failure. And just writing this down on an Excel sheet or even on a notepad is extremely powerful. That cafe latte, which is like 3.5 quid, I think, you start asking the question, is this giving me the value for the money that I'm spending? That question made subtle change in my attitude towards money. I was managing the money. I was starting to become more intentional with the money rather than the other way around. So that's the first lesson I want to share with you. Awareness is power. The second lesson is emotional shift. Tracking your money on an Excel sheet or a notepad will feel awkward, almost ego crushing, like admitting that I really don't know where my money is going. But believe me, over time, it will give you the confidence. Just take the first step. And when you start taking these baby steps, you will start seeing patterns that will emerge. And then your spending will be more intentional. And there's an amazing book called The Richest Man in Babylon, where it says a part of what you earn is yours to keep. And as part of doing some research for this video, in the UK, I found that the household debt is over 117% of the disposable income. That means that people owe a lot more than they earn, and the only way out, in my experience, is to know exactly where your money is going. The third lesson I want to share with you is small wins add up. Just by cooking 2 extra dinners a week at home can save more than 100 quid a month, which is more than 1200 quid a year. If you think about it, that's extra 2 payments towards your mortgage. A cafe visit, about 6 quid, 7 quid we spend per week. Avoid that, that's another 600 quid a year. And all these little wins, small wins, add up. And these little productive actions carried out over a long period of time can have a dramatic impact on your finances. And that's the power tracking gives you. These small wins over a long period of time builds a huge momentum in your life, and that's life changing. Momentum is key here, because usually people who succeed have got this momentum, and the more they succeed, the more they want to succeed. It's like an addiction. What does an addict do? Finds a way. That's how I was able to build habit. This leads to my fourth lesson that I want to share, which is building the habits. Now, I've said this before, tracking isn't glamorous, I'll be honest. It is hard, and so is being in debt. So every night, just 2 minutes, making a log of everything that I spent that day. Some nights I didn't feel like doing it. What's the point of doing this? But here's the thing, that discipline compounds over time, just like money. In the book called this Atomic Habit, every action that you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. So every time you track your budget, every night, every day, whatever that might be, you are casting a vote to be more disciplined, and the results will show up faster than you think. Within a couple of weeks, you will feel that without doing the tracking, you will feel incomplete. But there's one rule in building this habit, that you do not interrupt. Just like the rule Charlie Munger said in the financial world, that the first rule of compounding is you do not interrupt, just like a plant that grows out of a seed. So when it comes to habits, you do not interrupt the compounding effort, i.e., you do not miss out one day. Oh, I don't want to do this today. I'll skip tonight. No. Stick with it for 3 to 4 weeks. It will become part of your system. Building this habit and making it part of your system is extremely important. In fact, it's fundamental to financial freedom. Like in the book Psychology of Money, it says the true wealth is the ability to be able to wake up in the morning and do whatever you want. That freedom literally begins with this 2 minutes, 5 minutes ritual of tracking your money every night, every day. Habits will hands down beat willpower. There is no two ways about that. Willpower fades, it's up and down. Habits, however, it sticks. And this habit that sticks over a long period of time is consistency.
You have to challenge yourself to be consistent.
And consistency is your best friend. Consistency is the only thing that brings compounding effort into your life. And the last lesson I want to share is how tracking changed my life and how it can change your life as well. In the UK, currently, the average mortgage is around about £193,000. Okay, mine in today's value would have been £186,000 because I bought ours in 2013. We paid the £186,000 worth of mortgage in 5 years and 8 months. That achievement is impossible without tracking, and that's how it's changed my life. It can have profound impact in your lives too. Just the act of tracking your budget. Without tracking, I'd probably be still buried under debt. The key here is to not prioritize your schedule, but instead to schedule your priorities And in my case, I absolutely prioritized tracking. So hopefully these 5 lessons that I just shared as emphasize the importance of tracking every pound that you spend. Let me just wrap this video by quoting, wealth is the slave of a wise man and master of a fool. Which one do you want to be? This is Mekki. I will see you in another video. Life is good. God is great. Bye.